Hello everyone. Let's make another video on how to colorize. My color wheel went away again, as usual. There it is. I've made these a little bigger. And let's start with the wood on the house. And in one of my other videos I determined I was going to do the wood underneath first. So we got to think if this is really, really old wood. What color does old wood get? Does it get brown, gray? That's too bright. Come down closer to white. Like that color? Like the color of old wood? Now, for brush size, this little circle here is the size of the brush. And there's a picture of a brush down at like 5 o'clock. But what you don't want to do is pick a brush size that's really big, because you want to get a lot of work done. So, you know, like this, brushing the color on, and then you got to get between the windows down here, see, and then you're not going to fit. As you go through there, you're going to get paint on the everything you don't want to color. You want to color just between the windows. So, Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. We can do this half of the house, and then this half after, if you want. That'll be easy, but we got to be really thin to get between the windows. Because if I do this, then I lift it up and I do it again, over and over, it gets darker every time. Not a lot, but so I could either make the brush small enough to go between, like that, or I could do those after. But still, it's a fuzzy brush here. It's not my solid brush, which would be like that. See how it colors over everything? The solid outline. I just did all the windows, and I didn't want to do the windows. I like the fuzzy brush. So it paints more in the middle. As you can see, it's more dense in the middle and fuzzy on the outside. So if we put this way up here, you can see it really just paints the middle really dense and the outside's fuzzy. Control Z, Control Z. Okay. So let's leave it there. What's the color we picked for the wood? Like this? Is that the color of old wood? So let's do that. That goes between all the windows, which I've decided are going to be red. So I can put this color brown over the top. And what this is doing is coloring what I think is the color of the wood underneath. Then I got to make a decision on what color I'm going to put over the top. Because if I had some clabbers that were blue in the other video that I made. I couldn't really put blue over the top of this. And have it look blue. Put blue over this, you're going to get a weird, funky looking green. So I might have to make the house brown. Later on, I'm going to have to go over that fire escape and take all the color out so that I can make the fire escape. Well, I don't know. Is the fire escape going to be... Yeah, it's going to be like that dark grayish red, like really rusty iron. That'll do after. Look how that house is put together. So this is really, I'm concentrating on the color I want underneath. I'm going to do the other side of the house after. It's going to be too big. There's a lot of stuff in there. I'm going to have to take the color out and go over all of this again. Okay. Now make my color, my size real small. This wood I decided was going to be a different color. Because it's whatever, it was holding something up, or it's holding the building up, or whatever it's doing. And I've got my color light enough that if I go over it again like this, you can't really tell that I'm doing that again. It's not really doing that. Getting darker, so I'm lucky. We gotta get all the wood everywhere that you see is wood. Looks like they've got some repairs down there. But again, I'm just doing this undercolor here. all this stuff. That window's got shutters on it. This one. What color are those going to be? Gotta get the wood under there. You can't leave anything, as we covered in the other video. It's really light and really big. It makes the colors richer. So I did some of the awnings already. They're done. I haven't saturated those, but they're done. That would be too much. Saturate. Saturate's got to be light. Yes, this is also on pretty high. Look at the color of a burlap tent. And you got to be careful not to be really scratchy. So normally, like I said, what I do when I saturate is at the end, I'll go over everything with one pass. It's not doing what I want, but you can also change the brush to that. It might be too much. And I want to saturate that wood yet because I'm not done. And here's all these colors in the original that I don't want to saturate at all. Back to fuzzy. Okay. Where are we looking here? There's our house. There's our house. Okay. So let's do this part over here. Is this the color we want? No. It's not. For this reason. Okay, we'll just go to color. Brush is too big. That's what I want. Okay. Color's okay. I had said earlier in the other video that I was going to make this a different color anyway. But the wood underneath would be the same, probably. I like 200. I've had some people ask me what kind of microphone I use because they say it sounds nice. I'm using Mixcraft music mixing software with some noise reduction. And it's a microphone that comes attached to gaming headphones called HyperX. Pretty cheap, $80. So this is just the color of the wood underneath. This, pretty much. This doesn't seem to be as rough a shape as this other place. This place over here is pretty rough. All this. I'm also using some pretty beefy compression, 6:1 at minus 35 decibels, so it'll compress everything to crazy. And we're not forgetting anything. It's all going to get done. Because we're doing the underwood, so I don't think there's any underwood here anyway. This underwood we can get. So if I wanted to do this stuff, whatever that is that's going on there, what I'd have to do is zoom in real tight. So I wanted this to be gray. Real small brush. 2. All the way to the top. White. Takes all the color out. Take all the color out on this, whatever this is here. And then leave the brown in between. And you might have to do this a couple times. Is that a piece of wood? What is this? Is this a piece of metal sticking out? What is that thing? It's one of the decisions you have to make. And what is this stuff? I don't like this having color on it. This is what I meant when I was talking about the sweater. And all the little fuzzies on a sweater. You know what I was meaning that, getting into the finer detail of stuff and you're going to color over something that's small. Go ahead and color over it, and then you can go back just like this and take the color out after. This is what takes the longest time in these pictures. Determining what part of this is framework and what part of it should be brown. If this is all framework and we're going to make this a different color, we're going to make... See, is this in a continuation here? What is this thing? I take the color out because I don't know what it is. At some point it's going to have color on it. Whatever color you pick. I'm going to go back to this weird brown color. Okay. Here's some undercolor here. And I decided that my windows were red. What are these red here? They're not bright, because at some point I'm gonna... Don't do that to me. At some point... Alright, let's leave it like this. I'm gonna saturate those. When they saturate, they'll look better. See? When you saturate it, it'll look fine. But, just as a test, I'm not saturating it, so I take it away. We got a ton of snow today. I'm going to have to go out and snowblow. Thankfully, I didn't have to work. This is probably a mattress. Mattresses are that weird beige color, aren't they? That's strange how it does it. Okay. No, too much. That color. Dingy mattress. Yeah, too much. Maybe with a blue stripe? Right? It may not even be a mattress. Who knows what it is? Probably a mattress. We haven't put any reflections yet. We haven't done anything except that kind of stuff. Just the basic colors that you see. That's it. Haven't put any shadows underneath yet, which is usually a teal. Too much. That's probably just a white sheet. So the closer you go to white, the lighter it gets. Until you're way down, like there. Still too much. If it's just a white curtain, you don't need very much on it. And again, where there's less of a density of gray, it's not going to color as much. So I went over that a couple times, so that's too much. You can go back over it later and put brown. This is going to reflect the sidewalk and the sky. Windows are hard too. Like, what is it reflecting? Is it reflecting the ground? Is it reflecting just the general sky color? Too much blue. But you've got to have something on it. If it's very subtle, even if it's just very subtle like that, you got to have something on it. Although the opacity was on 0, so it's going to do nothing. Okay. Wow. Why is that so dark? It's on color. There we go. Alright. I'm still learning this program. It does a lot more than I'd ever do. But you can add like ripples and beams and all kinds of weird stuff going on. And later on I might regret that these are blue, and in which case, if you want to take the color out, I don't care what layer it is, put it on pure black and just go over it, take the color out. If I don't like it, if I say, nah, it doesn't look right, it's okay. Here's some more wood. Here, I gotta do that. What's that color wood I picked? That weird stuff? Weird color? This may be pure paint though, so what color would it be? This is all really tough. What color would that be? You know, it's like a whole hodgepodge of different stuff all cobbled together. I got this. This is all wood. And wood is old and generally gray. And it's old. What's this made of? Well, this is another thing. Wow, there's a ton of stuff on there. What is this stuff? Looks like a crutch and clothes. Whew. I'm just going to color right over this, and later on I can take the color out where the metal is. Okay, well that's happening in the background. This is a picture of the Wacom tablet that I use. I keep calling it the Bamboo. It's made by Wacom right there on the right hand side of that red tag. It's called Bamboo. It's a simple one. It only has one button. And it's like touch to do and untouched to not do. And the pen I'm using actually also has buttons on it, which I didn't install the software. It's plug and play. The buttons on it do nothing. But that's what I use. Okay, so now if I want to put paint on this building here, what happened? There we are. This color that I put on is only because I think this wood underneath is actually this color, and it was going to be too difficult to put that color here and scratch it here and here and then here and here and here and here and all these little places where the paint has been scraped away, and put this undercoat, this undercolor on. So I made the whole house that color just to get the wood underneath that's exposed the correct color. And now I've got to go and put the overcolor on. Now it worked a little bit to get this done. I did the windows, I did the curtains. There's some metal over there. Or something over here sticking out. And a lot of these I'm not going to like later on. I can either take the color out or I can do it over. I didn't do any of these awnings yet, so that's why this isn't done. This is not really like a different color piece of wood, the right color, but that's the way it's going to be. You know, sometimes you're like, what is this? I don't know what it is. It could be that color. And I decided on a blue for the reflection in the windows, which could also change. If I'm going to add a bunch of layers over the top, I can make the blue anything I want. But now I've got to decide what color I want the house. If this is the undercolor, if this is the color of the wood underneath, I could maybe pick like a blue. And I don't want to just put blue over the top. I don't want to do that, because then all the wood underneath changes blue. And the whole point was to have the wood underneath the color of wood. So there's a big decision that's got to be made on how. This one's brown, and I don't think this is blue. It's not really the right color. Wasn't the right color of gray to be blue. So I'm going to stick with like a reddish brown, a little different color than this one, to kind of match the windows. Put it on. I clabbered by clabbered. And again, I gotta go. See, I went over that before and took the color out. Now I gotta do it again. And over that too, that's okay. Because I'm gonna make that a different color. This looks pretty consistent. And then here it's scratchy. So let's just dot it over there. And just dot it on over here. When you dot like this, it makes it all different. Because again, it's more dense in the middle, and it's fuzzy on the outside, and if you zoom in, that's the way the picture is anyway. This is too Well, it's working. Not really too big. It could be like a solid color. That was alright. I think this all here is part of that. Yeah, see, over here is the other house. Let's do these little guys here. See, this is all like mottled and scratchy. Let's just put it here, and then solid. And you have to trust me when I'm telling you that, because you can't hear. I'm like doing dot 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 on the tablet, and then dot 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 dot. So we're getting very, very. Let me do it over and over again to show you. Dot 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 dot. See how it does that? And then I can Control Z it away, and you watch. So I'm putting just light color here, where it's all scratchy, and then more solid color there, and more solid color here, and then just little dots of color. So I'm basically skipping all of this and all of that, because that's the color underneath. Now I got to give myself some room here. How far over can I go? I can go to here. Smaller. Okay. Do the whole thing. Now if I put it down and I go over it and over and over it, it gets that dark, and that's it. That's the intensity of the dark that I have. And it'll sort of slowly add color until it gets to that density. There's all these shadows. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, all these shadows under here from the fire escape. That's going to be a big pain. I could just go over it lightly with like a teal. That kind of shadow, if it's filtered sun, it's not going to be teal. Teal you get on a sunny day, because all the other areas of the landscape reflect the sunlight like a tealish color. That doesn't have any undercoat at all, and I'll just like dot it sporadically. We can also do this. Let's see what that does. Does it work? I have to make this a little higher. I like it. So it's not as solid as that. And later on I gotta go through. See that shadow underneath every clapboard? I've gotta go underneath every single one and make it a shadow color. Even if I hold it down on the tablet with this on the surface, with this thing that I picked, it should remain scratchy. But I don't think I need it there. These were weird. I try to get these to look like really scratchy wood. They don't at all, do they? They don't all look like scratchy wood. See, wood's not brown. It's that old wood, old gray wood. And then if it's been in the rain and in the rain and the rain, they never close these. You know, they get mildew on them. They get mildew. Wood that's outside gets green. You can go to a lumber yard anywhere and see wood that's green. I mean, I'm not talking about the green markings that they put on the wood. I mean, old wood that's been sitting out for a long time looks green. This was brown. So, this could be wood. Like I've said how many times, brown is the hardest color for me. Because it never really looks brown. And that should be red. Okay, get over to the corner. And because the picture's blurry, I don't want the solid. I don't want the solid red. If I did this, you'd see it right away. I don't want that. Hello. Now I gotta go minimize and maximize again. There we go. And what color did I pick for the house? What's this color? What color was I using? A little oranger. A little redder. Okay. That is the hardest part. No, we're back to the right color, but it's too much. Of course, underneath all these clapboards now, the reason why I got to go over it with a different color is because when I wash it with the color of the house, underneath, which would be shadow, actually becomes brighter orange. It wouldn't look like that underneath. Not too scruffy. And they're here. And there. And there. And there. And there. These are the areas that are tough. There's red window. Here's wood. I can start at the bottom. Paint looks somewhat good. So we'll just go over the whole thing. Lots of areas to do here. If you have a little division like that, you can demarcate an area for you. To that area underneath, I can make that like a little bit of weird green for like mildew or something. Now, if this looks scruffy, and real streaky, that's okay. Because the wood is streaky. Looks like a little house. But the key, too, is to zoom in when you're done and look at it when it's zoomed in. Because it's got to look real zoomed in. Because somebody somewhere, could be, of all the people that look at this on Facebook or look at it on Shorpy, maybe 20 people are going to download it and zoom in on it. I would. They're going to, see, he missed that spot. See? That's not just solid red there. You can't do that. Only put the red where the paint is. There. Not underneath. See, leave this. This I'll do. Leave that. Leave these. And then do these. Leave that. Don't know if I do this one. I'm going to skip around all this stuff. I might give it one coat, but I won't go back and do it twice, 3 times. Like here. There we go. And I'm going to fill in this. That I didn't make gray. This one. But you can take the color out at any time. Because what I'm not doing is I'm not doing what's called flattening. I'm saving it as a project, which is like a XPC or something. For GIMP, I don't know, whatever kind of proprietary extension they have for their own file format. And then at the very end, when I'm done, I save it as a JPEG. But even if I open that JPEG again on another date, I can still take the, like I did these windows 3 days ago. Right there. I could put this back to pure white or pure black, put this to the top, and take that color right out again. Because you're not changing the gray color underneath this. You're not changing the original gray of the picture, you're just putting color over the top. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to put this dip, little dits of color. Fill everything else in. I skip that and do over the top of it. Lightly here. And these have some color, but not a lot. And my fuzzy edge is saving me. And somewhat working into the original picture, which is blurry. Not quite so detailed. Because remember, this is our picture. And we're coloring here. So that's my house. And I'm happy with that. So the wood underneath is that other color brown, and all this that I put over the top is like a different kind of red. So if you zoom in on it, you can tell that it's not the same. It's really not the same color at all. You see the brown here? Looks like an area where there's no paint on it. Up here, you can scrape it with this oddball brush and like greeny gray. Let's see what it does. Does it look alright? said I was going to make this a different color too, and I didn't. Oh well. I can. Yeah. So if somebody says, I look at that and say, yeah, look at that. That's like a nasty old piece of wood up there. This house is barely together. Look at some of these windows here. This one over here. Look at this. This is repaired. It's barely together. There's another one up there. So it'll act as shadow, actually. You hear that? Like mildew, this nastiness up there. Ugh. So now, that's how I put the other layer over the top. All kinds of colors up there. I'm going to leave it. Now we have all this nasty green stuff up here. Whatever it is, we'll even put it there. And there. There. Is this a gutter? Probably is a gutter. And then the gutter goes down. So, if I could make that the color of the house, or I could make it like gutter gray. What color would it be? I don't know. I'll make it like a copper. What color is copper? That's not copper. It's much the same. No, it's different. I know it's a tool option. The roof I'm looking at is probably just sheets of steel, which I will make steel blue. Let's continue this. This may not even be the same color every time. You add a piece, like here, and then you come down. This one could be more of that color. Because it was added after. Or it could be generic gray. Who knows? I don't know what color they had in 1900. Could you get it in like fashion colors in 1900? Probably not. And that doesn't even look like gutter. Really big. And then put our stuff on. Is it green enough? It's not. I had this song called Ishq Balava in my head. It's two different versions by a group called Sanam. Sanam did their own version, and the main singer, Sanam Puri, also did Ishq Balava for movie. I don't know what movie.
And Ishq is spelled I-S-H-Q. It means, I think it's from Arabic, it means love.
But I just wanted to show you how I was going to layer this house with different colors. And then at some point we'll bring the opacity down, brush size really huge, this thing here, and do saturate and go over the whole thing. See how the colors come out? And I still might not be done. I might look at it and go, nah, I don't like that color. It's an okay color, but once I saturate it, I might not like it. But for now, I'm going to leave it.